What's up, Smitley here, Smitley.com, training log video with commentary. This is week 2 recap. Running a little bit behind on logs again. I apologize. I was out of town for a wedding, and that kind of put me behind the 8 ball on some stuff. But training did not skip a beat, and I'll explain that probably in next week's video. But for week 2 of meet prep with the squats, safety squat bar work up to this 315 for 10. Pretty pleased with this. It looks pretty good. Not really any shifting or anything, which is nice. It's really just about being confident under these weights. The weights are moving really easy. I'm just trying to keep everything locked in and into place. So, I got some things to still work on, but I think this is a good sign of where things might be. As I've mentioned in my training logs, I'm basically running 5-3-1 with that movement, and then boring but big with some pause squats afterwards. My pauses could probably stand to be a little bit better, but right now the goal is not really to build my squat up for a meet, considering I'm doing bench only. It's to try to get back to a good starting point so that I can train my squat. So we'll have to just kind of see how that goes. But I was really pleased with this week. It was a better improvement from last week. And I had a 10 rep cap for my top set of that 315, by the way. So that's why I kind of shut it down there. I definitely looked good for more, but you kind of take what you can. The next day for max for upper was some shirt work. The raw work was doing some 2 board. I took this 335 for 3, which I think was actually a little bit of a rep PR. No, it was leading up to a rep PR. This 360 for 1 was a PR. Not the prettiest stuff in the world, but it's not bad. I really suck off the 2 board, so I knew that I wanted to use the red shoulder saver for my shirt work. So I basically took 375s, 415. I know it's a bit difficult to see with lighting and training crew and everything, but moved pretty well. Then we basically went up to 435, and that also went really well. And then I basically took a jump to 465, and that also moved really well. And basically I ended up getting up to actually, I think that was 475. I apologize. But and then I actually ended up going up to 505 and hitting that. But of course, I didn't record it, which was the best set that I had all day. It was heavy, but the 1.5 board is like 3.5 inches away from touching, so that makes you feel really good. And then took some weight off, threw the chains on, got rid of the board, and worked on trying to touch with a lighter weight with some doubles. Basically took this 345 and 2 chains on each side for 2 doubles, and I actually ended up getting to touch on this set right here, which was a big improvement from what I was struggling to touch with. So I'm getting better with the shirt, is essentially what that means, and I'm getting used to the heavy overload. So I'm on pace for where I want to be right now. I won't get back in the shirt again for another 3 weeks. To help prevent some burnout, so I got 2 more weeks of raw work that I'll continue to address some stuff, and then jump back in the shirt again and continue to work on that. Dynamic effort lower from Tuesday. Still run with the box squats and the Duffalo bar and the average band, just up to 195 this week for 10 doubles. Pretty happy with the speed of things. I think the technique looks pretty well. I think a lot of it, again, is still just staying confident on the box, in my squat, and my back. There's certainly some good things and some bad things to take away from this, but I think for where I'm at right now, I think this is a pretty good place. It's still letting me train. It's still letting me try to work on some improvements, build some confidence up. And really, that's all I'm looking to get from my speed work at this point. I'm not looking to actually get me stronger. I'm trying to build back up into those training weights, and this actually gives me some good time to work on some technique and build my glutes and hamstrings up a little bit, and then also just stay tight in the box. We'll see what happens when I start taking the box away with the straight bar, but I'm pretty optimistic. This is a heavier deadlift week. Basically 340 was supposed to be my top set with the 5-3-1 stuff that I'm doing, and I'm only hitting the required reps. I pulled a single with hook grip at 340, and then I just kept the weight there, used some straps, and did a set of 5, and that was my top set for the day. I know that's not exciting, it's really boring, but I have to remember the long-term goal for this 12 weeks. It's not to get a total, it's to hit a big bench press. So right now I'm just kind of chipping away at trying to get to mid 4s on my deadlift again, at least feeling comfortable and safe. You know, the 90% threshold is where a lot of issues happen to occur injury-wise, so I'm trying to stay away from that. Some good mornings, and that pretty much rounded out that day. These actually felt really good with safety squat bar, believe it or not. And there was a good top set of 12. Diving again for upper day from the following day on Wednesday. Was again a pretty good day. I've kind of mixed things up in here, as I mentioned in the last training video. So I still had my 8 triples like I normally do, using the Buffalo bar with 150 this week. I thought the speed and everything held together pretty well. Pretty pleased with how things are looking technically, especially with this bar. When I go to the straight bar for the last half of the cycle, I think I'm going to see some good improvements. You know, just trying to get in that extra pressing work and really put some emphasis on the speed. I got to kind of give these days a little bit more attention than I would normally think I would. I know that each bench press session is going to matter a little bit more, especially while my recovery is better, so I'm not having to worry about all the lower body fatigue from the CNS. So close grip work up to this 200 for 8 against the bands. This was a rep PR, not by much, only by a couple pounds, I think. But again, it's still improvement in the right direction. My triceps are definitely getting stronger. My close grip bench press is seeing some improvement. And then I backed the weight down to this 180 and did multiple sets of 10. Just 3 sets. Really happy with this as well. Continuing to try to just build that lockout strength and grease that groove. I know that if I was raw, this might be something I would want to try to experiment with, but being in the shirt, I need to try to keep hitting those triceps as hard as I can on this day. I'm going to get some extra pressing volume in. So, had some back training after this, and then the rest of the week with just some accessory stuff over at the rec. So that wraps up week 2. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment section. Thanks for checking in, and you can keep up with all my stuff over at elitefts.com.